I'm Leonard Nimoy. Join me for In Search of
And our name is.
Colorado, Rocky Mountain High. I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. Friends around the campfire and everybody's high. Rocky Mountain High. Who is that butchering that John Denver song? That is me, Jim Gentili, and I'm here with my fellow podcasters who bring me such sweet sorrow, Beth, Peggy, Shelley, and John. And we are going to be talking about some people going to the Rocky Mountains, hint, hint. But before we do that, I have to do some housekeeping from previous episodes. We have been dropping episodes like nobody's business. And if you were on our behind our paywall, you would have heard a great episode just this past weekend featuring our friends John and Shelley. Some of us would listen to it through our Patreon subscription. If you're Beth Shannon, you listen through your Patron subscription. But either way, you should definitely be on Patreon and getting all that extra content. We did a couple of shows about the greatest American songwriters list. First thing I have to do is fact check myself. During one of the episodes, I was talking about the music producer who added the orchestration to Sounds of Silence and turned it from nothing into a number one record. And I said the wrong producer. I mentioned Bob Johnston.
Outrageous.
Who was a producer of the same era, who also worked at Columbia, who also worked with Dylan and with Simon and Garfunkel. But the guy who actually deserves the credit is Tom Wilson. And I mistakenly said Bob Johnston instead. And I'm forever abashed about that. So I'm correcting myself. Tom Wilson. Both of them, unfortunately, are no longer with us. So I don't know who's going to be upset about it, but I just wanted to set the record straight. I also wanted to mention that I did look up, and according to Billboard chart performance, who is the greatest living American songwriter? Any guesses? That is to say, according to the performance of their songs on the Billboard charts.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, absolutely.
Really?
Not even close. Now,
wait, living. Oh, living.
Living, yes, living.
Not even close.
right.
I don't even understand the question.
Okay,
I don't
so
either, so I
the
just
Billboard
decided
charts
not to
are
answer.
the Billboard charts are sort of the gold standard. When somebody says they have a number one record in the U.S., they mean that it's the top of the Billboard Hot 100 chart, which has been around since 1958.
Yes, I know what that is.
Okay.
We know what that is. We don't understand your question.
No, the question is, so if you take the aggregate of all the songs people have written and base it on Billboard chart performance, Taylor Swift would be number one.
So that, but the way you
that's right.
calculate that is if you wrote a song and it made it anywhere on the Billboard charts, that's one.
Well, however they calculate that. But what I wanted to say that's important to understand is that it is not an apples to apples comparison between the way they do the Billboard charts now and the way they say in Bob Dylan's era when he was a productive songwriter, because the biggest difference that's relevant to this discussion is that starting in 2007, quite correctly, they added streams to the calculation of the chart performance. Before that, well, of course, streaming didn't exist back in the day. It used to be
some other measurement.
From 1958 going forward, it was a combination of radio airplay and record sales. Now that
airplay and record sales.
Okay, now streaming, which is the predominant way people consume music now, has been added. But there's a difference in that in the old days, if you heard a song by Bob Dylan or the Beatles or Joni Mitchell or whoever,
Dog alert.
and you would listen, we already got that a warning before the thing. Okay. You would listen so you would buy a copy of the record, and then maybe you would take it home, and maybe if you liked it a lot, you'd play it a bunch of times. Well, your purchase of the record would count toward the chart performance, but every time you played it wouldn't. But now, when you stream a song, you stream it a lot of times, and so every time you stream it, that counts toward the chart performance.
Far more granular.
So if we didn't count the streaming, wouldn't it be Bob Dylan? Because of his writing, his impact.
Well, it's not that you would. You mean, Shelley? Do you mean if you didn't if you look at the era up until the age of streaming,
I
until
don't know.
2007.
I don't know the answer to that question, Shelley. I didn't look
How
that
did you
up.
get the answer to this question?
I just looked it
curious.
up. I just looked it up.
It's
Billboard.
in
Billboard has
Okay,
this
okay,
information.
all right, I see.
Billboard has all sorts of information.
Yeah.
But the point I want to make is that, for example, now in the 60s, say, for example, songs typically stayed at the number one spot for like 2 weeks or something. Now it is quite common for them to be in the number one spot for 15 or 20 weeks.
Why is that?
Because people keep listening to it on streaming, so it stays. Whereas in the old days, once you bought the record, eventually enough people bought the record, they stopped buying it, so the record would fall from the charts or would get lower in the chart. But now, when they keep liking the record, instead of just playing it on their turntable, they keep streaming it, and that keeps generating chart performance.
No,
anyway,
far better data.
One other thing I want to add, because this goes.
Wait, so who was the answer? What's the answer?
Taylor Swift.
Oh, I was right.
You were right. Yeah, you won the award.
Oh,
you get a
said
new
not
car.
even close.
I know you don't listen to the podcast, but could you at least listen to it while you're actually recording
No,
it?
Jim, you did say not
You
even
said
close.
not even close
So
when
I
I
was
said
confused
Taylor
by it.
Swift.
No,
No,
he was
no, no.
building on what you said.
No, I said Taylor
He's
Swift is the
amplifying.
number one, and it's not even close.
Right.
Oh,
He was
not even close to
amplifying what
number
you
two.
said.
I think
Got it.
Mariah
Got it.
Carey might be second.
Got it.
Thank
got
you,
it.
Shelley, for helping me out.
No,
I
for
knew
sure,
what Jim
heard
said
it.
because
That's
I
why-
think like Jim, which is so disturbing.
I'm sure it's my fault, and wherever that document.
No, and I
that's
understood
not
you,
good.
Jim, but I understand what they're saying. Yeah, but
I understand.
it's shocking,
Yeah, it's
but I
fair.
understand
That
you.
wasn't fair. John, to your point about loving or appreciating the work of record producers, I saw a new documentary on Saturday about one of the great producers of the last half of the 20th century, a gentleman named Peter Asher, who, if you don't know who that is, this documentary is called Peter Asher, Everywhere Man. Peter Asher was a young man from London who was born in 1944. In fact, today is his 82nd birthday.
44.
And he was a child actor
During the war.
And his one of his younger sisters was also a child actor, but she kept with it and had a bit of a career in the 60s in British cinema. And she was also, by the way, for about 4 or 5 years, Paul McCartney's girlfriend. And so when Paul McCartney was in London, he used to actually stay at the Asher's house, and they because the mother was a classical oboist. They had all sorts of stuff. They had all sorts of music stuff, and they had a piano in the basement, and he would sit down in the basement.
What did he write there?
And he would write stuff there. And then one day he's down there with his friend John Lennon, and you can hear them plunking around, and they called up and they said, "Peter, can you come down here?" I can't do their accents. I won't try to do their accents. And he comes down, and Peter Asher becomes the first person other than those two who hears a little song called "I Want to Hold Your Hand" that they had written in the basement.
I have a good joke. I have a good joke about that.
Go.
It's Beckett's first joke that he ever told.
Okay.
He goes, "What did the octopus say to his wife?"
"I want to hold your hands."
"I want to hold your hand.
Okay, I like it. That's funny. That's not bad.
And the fact that he laughs every time he says it makes me want to cry. It's so
Well,
funny.
it's good to appreciate your own jokes. Anyway, if you get a chance to see Peter Asher Everywhere Man,
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know if it's on
You
Netflix.
don't know the streaming
I saw it in a theater,
It doesn't
so
matter.
but I'm
Okay,
sure
got
it'll be on a streaming
So
service.
it's new.
Yes,
new.
it's brand new.
Oh, cool.
And
Good.
But I mean, among
think-
the people this guy has been a record producer for: Linda Ronstadt, James Taylor, Cher, Diana Ross. I'm leaving out people.
Wait. But he was that after Paul McCartney.
This was after
and
he was
Wow.
himself part of a. Well, I'll give you another story. He himself, with a friend of his named Gordon Waller, they had a duo called Peter and Gordon, and they got signed to a record contract after the Beatles had gotten signed. And their producer came to him and said, "Hey, you guys do most of the covers, but can you have any original stuff?" So Peter Asher went to Paul McCartney and said, "Is there any song you could give me?" And Paul McCartney had written this song that John Lennon hated, so they weren't going to use it. So he just gave it to Peter Asher to use. And after the Beatles, they were the first British act to get a number one record in the United States using the Reject song.
Wow,
So
that's
how
a
good
great
do you have
story.
to be as a songwriter
Oh, is that a
one
great-
of your rejects you give to your
Yeah.
girlfriend's brother becomes a number one record?
Yeah,
That's cool.
that tells you something.
Anyway,
Wow.
so I don't
Boy,
tell
if
you
there's
the
not
whole
a case
thing.
for genius,
Yeah, well,
man.
But anyway, Peter Asher is. It's difficult to find anyone who has anything bad to say about Peter
Do you guys
Asher.
believe in genius?
Yes.
Sure, I do.
All of you? You all believe in genius? Okay.
We all recognize that you're a genius, John. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about, let me get a show of hands here. How many of you have recently been in the Rocky Mountains?
What's recent?
Well, the last 2 weeks. No, I see 2 hands up. So tell us about the Rocky Mountains. Who would like to go first?
Peggy, you were there when I was there. I'm so
Apparently, you.
I
I'm
don't
going to start
know.
with I'm outraged
See,
and
now-
annoyed.
Peg would have known you were going to be there if Peg had listened to the podcast, of course.
I
because
can't believe.
Wait, which podcast?
I did talk
the
about
one
it,
that
didn't I?
the one that you did, the one that with the three of us
Saturday.
did, not this
Oh.
Saturday, but the one before with Beth and John and I. that
Before
did.
we went.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
I
going to
did not
say
know you were going. How long did you have this trip planned?
a long time, actually, like February. But I also texted you guys from there a picture of myself, probably while you were
Oh,
there.
that was but you said this is what I'm doing, but you didn't say where it was. I just
Oh,
assumed
I
it was
didn't.
somewhere in Michigan.
Okay.
Oh, that really
So-
that giant snow-capped mountain.
I didn't see the snow-capped mountain in the background. I may not have
And I
listened
was
to
There's
this.
snow
Put it
in
in my
Michigan.
I
glasses.
way
thought
into the
you were
spring.
forwarding a picture you had gotten from John, and I was surprised John was taking the kids to baseball games, so I was confused.
I don't know
Actually,
where.
the only thing I remember of that picture was I was like, Peggy did what I try to never do, which is take the picture of people's backs when you're hiking.
I'm trying to find it to see what I
Oh, I
sent.
thought it was a baseball
How about we
game
talk
picture.
about the trips?
Where did you stay, Peg?
I stayed in my friend's. It's kind of a strange turn of events, but we planned this trip. I don't know, this high school group, a friend of mine, we have the hardest time trying to get trips going. And somebody sent a text that said, let's go see Paul Simon and Red Rocks.
Oh.
And then there's some band named Lord Huron that I've never heard of that they all love. And Lord Huron was also going to be in Red Rocks. So we start all the chatter about it. And my friend who lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, her sister lives outside of Denver in Broomfield and has a big house.
Okay.
And says we could stay there for free. And we were all kind of like, I don't know, we're 55. Why do we stay in our friend's sister's basement? You know, like, what are we doing? And then the whole thing fell off. And I was looking at the Paul Simon tickets and I was like, you know, he's not that good anymore. I don't even like that new album.
Really?
Whoa.
This is apostasy.
Blasphemy.
No,
And
I go on, Peg. I hear you.
And I've seen him 5 or 6 times, and I've been to Red Rocks twice. So I was like, I would rather pay $200 for a 90-minute massage at a fancy spa.
Sure.
So we went back and forth, and eventually we booked the ticket. We booked the tickets to Denver, but we did not do the Paul Simon thing. And we were just going to watch the prices to see if they got any cheaper.
The
And of course they
equivalent
got-
hot ticks or the
yeah,
StubHub
right.
or
StubHub. So anyway, it was a blast. And staying at my friend's sister's
So you didn't
house.
go. You didn't go to the concert.
No, we didn't go. No,
Okay.
I got there on Thursday morning, and we all met there at the Denver airport. All our flights were on time. We got a car. We wanted to see the state capitol downtown because we hear it's a sweet building. So we went and did nerdy architectural historical stuff.
Cool.
And while we were walking around, we were like, oh, look, the Rockies are playing the Cubs. And so we got a ticket in the 5th inning and we went to the game and got a Coors Light. And we decided that's the best time to go to a baseball game is in the 5th inning. And the
Probably
Cubs
true.
won. And it was a beautiful day. And then, and we went to this crazy, crazy place for lunch called Casa Bonita. Has anybody been there?
No. Is that the place with the skydiving or the
Yeah,
diving?
with the cliff jumpers. How
That's
do you
hilarious.
know about this?
My sister told me to take my family that we didn't go into Denver, but she was like, "You have to go to Casa Bonita."
Yeah,
Which
crazy.
sister, John?
Nancy. The older sister.
I
she
highly
took her
recommend
kids
it.
there years ago.
It was super bizarre.
Yeah,
and
that's
you have
you
to
like,
go.
is it like
like-
burlesque?
Not quite burlesque, but it's got the same. People are walking
Show.
around dressed in costumes, and there's cliff divers jumping in a pool. And
How many stories up?
I don't know. It's
2,
very
3, 4?
strange. And there's
1?
tarot card readers and a palm reader
Oh wow.
and a cave of doom and skeet ball and
Oh wow.
you name it, a puppet show.
Oh wow. We were gonna go and then we almost went. What day did you go?
Thursday for lunch.
Oh, okay.
And you have to have a reservation and you have to walk through like airport level security, scan your bag, it was
Wow.
a strange experience.
Wow.
But I liked it and I never need to go back, but I would recommend everybody go. And then on Friday, we went to Estes Park and we hiked. We went on an amazing hike.
Which hike?
It was Bear Lake and
Sure. You had
3
a timed
other
entry.
lakes. What's that?
You had timed entry to get in. What time?
We
did
had
you
a
go in?
timed entry.
Yeah.
And it was a 6.5 mile, whatever. It took us all day. We snacked and it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then we went to some horrible brewery in Estes
Did you
Park
go to Emerald
Brewery.
Lake or all Bear
Yeah.
Lake? Because Bear Lake's small. You did the
No,
whole
we
Bear
did all
Lake, and
the-
then you did the one all the way
Yes.
up to 3
Yeah, we
lakes.
kept doing. It's like a tiered
Yeah, we did
lakes.
all that. We were there at that. We did
What
all
day?
that. We did all that. I mean,
What day did you do all that?
I don't remember. It was Bear Lake was our first day, and we went back to
all right,
Sprague
let's
Lake
go back,
for
John.
evening.
John, stop. What day did you get there?
Oh God, the 8th. We missed our flight.
So, okay,
Oh,
don't
okay.
recount the horrors that you did on the Patreon only episode.
I don't remember what I told on that.
So
But
please
but
don't
let me just
leave
say-
out the
all right.
air travel.
No,
stuff.
I mean, okay. So the bottom line is we did a whole bunch of hikes, and the kids got
Yeah.
badges.
So you
but
got there
basically
on Monday the 8th.
Monday the 8th, and we stayed for 8 days over. a
And
week.
then you left on the following Sunday
Stayed
or
till
Monday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So while Peg was there that Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
We
is
were
that when
there.
you
Oh, we were there.
Where'd you
guys were-
stay? What city?
We stayed at a little place called Murphy's Lodge.
In
and
what
it was
town?
Murphy's Resort in Estes Park. We were in Estes Park the whole
Oh.
time. We decided we were going to do we're not moving around. We're not driving everywhere all the time. We're just going and staying, and we had a great trip.
Oh, I cannot believe we overlapped. And when I wrote to you in the text and I said, "Did we overlap?" You did you went like this or something
Because I didn't even know
with an
what you were
emoji, but all you had to know was
wasn't-
our dates.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Yeah. it's
But-
too funny.
so Estes Park. So did you do the whole Stanley tour and all that, or do you care about that? The
No,
Stanley
What is
Hotel.
the Stanley
didn't do that.
tour for those of
Oh.
us who don't know?
The
It's
Stanley
the-
Hotel. It's
yeah.
the model
Go ahead.
for The Shining.
Oh, okay.
No, we
It's
did
where
not do
Stephen
that.
King
Right.
stayed and did a bunch of drugs and got wasted and had the inspiration for The
remember.
Shining
We
during
saw
a
it.
snowstorm.
So I went to, when I was 18 years old, I went to the first time I was ever on a plane, I flew to Denver from Chicago when I was elected National Honor Society president or vice president or something. And I went to a leadership camp.
Humble
in
brag.
Camp Chile. It's not a humble brag. Everybody was in National Honor Society. But
I wasn't the National Honor
oh,
Society
please,
president. Let's have a
Jim.
show of hands. How many people here were National Honor
Please.
Society president?
Oh.
Peggy was
Please.
also?
Please.
It wasn't the president. I thought you said who was in the National Honor
He
Society.
said he was the National Honor
It was
Society
it was
president.
it was
Oh, I was
exciting
not
for me because it was a
president.
leadership. Anyway, I went to this camp, and it turns out it's in Estes Park. So it's the only time I'd ever been to Estes Park. So the last time I was there was when I was 18, 17. It was my first time on a plane. So I was going to go visit it, and then I didn't go visit it. But,
Did it feel bad now that your presidency is over? Did it feel different visiting the park when you're no longer president?
Well, it was
John?
Well, I didn't visit the park. I've never been in Rocky Mountain National Park. Camp Chile is a private park, or
Okay.
Chile, anyway. But it was a very, very fun memory, and I loved Estes Park. It was great. I mean, first of all,
I
I
love
love
it
everywhere you
too.
go. It's so queer friendly. I mean, there's progress flags everywhere you turn, and it's just, and there was like a Trump protest while we were there, but it's just the whole thing is. You can just tell it's got a vibe that's just very queer friendly, and we had a great time. I mean, and I love being up in the mountains. I don't know why I don't live there. I love it.
I had
Because
the
you live in
same-
Chicago.
I had
Yeah,
the same
exactly.
feeling. I was like, why don't I come here more? And Shelly and I were just there a couple years ago. We went to a dude ranch for Charlie's retirement, and then we went to Estes Park, but we didn't hike.
That was more than a couple years ago, my friend.
3. It was only 3 or 4.
4. Yeah.
He's
I think
only
it was-
been retired. Yeah. Anyway, but
Yeah.
and
See,
then
both John and Peggy need people in their lives to actually like balance the checkbook, so to
Pretty sure it was
speak. You
4.
know.
anyway, I loved it. And then the next day we went to Boulder and we hiked around Boulder, and then we went to a kick-ass fancy spa and spent, the kind with a
This
steam
is
room.
this current trip that you just went on.
Yeah.
In Boulder?
In Boulder,
It's not-
yep. And then we did, the kind with a steam room and a sauna and a pool and
Uh-huh.
a hot tub. And we just spent hours at this spa, walked around Boulder, and then we left. It was quick.
Did a big burly man in a loincloth grab your hand and then thrust you into a hot bathing pool of water?
No, that did not
After
happen.
squeezing an orange on you? Okay.
No, did that happen for you?
Yeah, in Morocco.
Oh,
So it's like it's that kind of spa. Otherwise, they're all the same in my opinion. But that was a very unique spa when you're laying on a stone floor in an empty room naked, and some guy in a loincloth throws a hot bucket of water on you and then stuffs a orange in your mouth before throwing you into a hot pool of water.
yeah, that
It's like
sounds
that's unique.
rough.
It's violent.
Yeah,
It's rough.
it's
It's
real
rough.
violent.
It's rough. Very violent. So I encourage you all to try it.
Love that.
Okay.
Very good.
John, why don't you tell us about your trip with the boys and Ted?
So we had a great trip. We went to Colorado. It was a great trip. We were supposed to go to Disneyland for two of my siblings are retiring this year. So we were supposed to go to Disneyland with them, or one of them, and do a whole LA thing with a bunch of friends and see people I haven't seen in decades and hang out. And then that fell through. And Ted had already asked for the time off, and we said, let's go somewhere fun. And I said, look, I think for little kids, 4 and 8 years old, the most important thing you can do for travel is to have something that's just like immersively different. And if it's language might be one thing, just to be surrounded by a foreign language, or the mountains or the ocean. I thought the mountains are the thing that's always stuck in my head that they'd love. And they did love it. They didn't love it as much as I thought they would, but they loved it. But it was just fun being together for 9 days and doing
I can
nothing else. It was so great. I mean, basically, we hiked in the morning, we swam in the afternoon. Thank bloody God I got a hotel with a pool. There are not a lot of hotels with pools in Estes Park, and there are even fewer with outdoor pools. So we went. We had a great time. I mean, there were every morning we'd wake up and we would open our door slowly of our hotel room to make sure that the killer elk weren't there. And there were 17 killer elk right outside of our door every day, poop everywhere. They clean it up pretty quickly, but there'd be poop inevitably.
The elk clean
You have
up
to
their
avoid
own
it.
poop?
No, the lovely people at the resort cleaned up
Now,
the poop.
correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Beth Shannon's iron law of traveling with children is you must stay at a place with a pool, right?
It's a no-brainer. Is
Yeah.
that true, Beth?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
it's unconditionally correct. It's just
Exactly.
it's
Yes.
just correct. Period.
And for
How do you
adults,
raise-
for adults, or at least females, it's unconditionally needed to stay at a spa where there's a spa.
I would
I'm
love
taking
that.
the spas you stay at. You're
requirement.
not used to getting thrown into the hot tub by
You
the
all should
burly
go to this
Moroccan
spa in
guy.
Marrakesh.
No.
It was awesome. It
I
was
don't need
amazing.
an orange jammed in my mouth.
Oh
while I
no,
let
you
it
would.
relax.
You want that orange jammed in your mouth. You don't even know how much you want that orange jammed.
Wow.
in your mouth. It was awesome.
John, that could be misconstrued in some
Oh no,
circles.
there's no misconstruing. It's a very literal saying of what happened.
So
It's
this
very
reminds
pleasant.
me of something Peter Asher said in the documentary, which was he was the producer who was responsible for at the time when Linda Ronstadt had her great success, and she had been around in the industry and well known for many years and never got, she had a couple of records that had a little bit of thunk, but people kept saying, oh, she has a great voice. Why doesn't she? And so Peter Asher said, well, she had this reputation for being difficult to deal with. So after I started talking to her, I realized she's not difficult to deal with. It's just that no one has ever actually listened to her the entire time. She would say, this is what we should be doing with this song. And no one paid any attention to her. And so really all I did was say, okay, we're just going to listen to what Linda says and we're going to do it. And that's how Linda Ronstadt became the huge hit she finally did become.
Where is she
since
from?
we're talking about Linda Ronstadt, here's my Linda Ronstadt story. Ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
My grandpa Bennett, my dad's dad, one day hands me like 6 Linda Ronstadt cassette tapes. I think I'm like 15 or something.
8-track or
no,
cassette?
just like
Okay.
regular cassette.
Okay.
And I was like, Grandpa, what is up? And he said, I just found out that she does cocaine and I can't listen to her anymore.
Oh.
So did you tell him that pretty much wipes out everything but classical music that we're listening at that point in the world's history?
He has a no drug policy.
That's how
no
I
music.
came to have 8 Linda Ronstadt cassettes.
Wow.
Linda Ronstadt's great. She was great.
Wow. Where's she from?
She's from, I believe, from Tucson, Arizona, or Phoenix, Arizona, either Tucson or Phoenix.
I mean, do your grandchildren understand the significance and of the glorious opportunity that growing up in New York is giving them?
I think they do not, but they will probably appreciate it at some point. They are,
I mean,
8
to be
and
surrounded
5,
by people who
John.
could end up being Paul McCartney and John Lennon playing a song in your basement.
To be fair, John Lennon and Paul McCartney grew up in Liverpool, not in New York City.
Yeah,
so
but stories like that happen in New York City.
they happen everywhere. Is my point.
No, they don't.
Well, if you're the Beatles, they happen in Liverpool.
Yeah, but that's in the aggregate.
I mean, I don't
in
think
New York.
Well, maybe.
Okay,
I mean,
so
a lot
John-
of things happen in New York, but I don't
John,
think that's one of them.
I think that having young, how old are your boys again?
4 and 6.
Yeah, that's pretty young for them to appreciate the mountains. But I think it's awesome that you started them out. But for them to think it's as awesome as you do, that's
Well,
not...
we went to Albuquerque in November for Ted had a work thing and we were there and we had a local host. And she took us up the Sandia Mountains and to the Sandia Mountain Peak, and we hiked. And Ted and I, with at that time a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, we hiked the equivalent of several miles. And we got back, and I said to Ted, I looked at my watch and I go, Ted, we just walked a very long way, and the boys didn't complain once. And that was when we
Wow. That's
knew hiking was in the
impressive.
cards for us. And I will admit, hiking at this point in my life is a very pleasant activity. The kids' physical prowess is going like this. My physical prowess is going like this. We're in this very happy spot right now where hiking matches both of our ability levels. For them, it's easy, but kind of edge of it. And for me, it's like hard, but I can still do it. I mean, and it's just a match made in heaven. I will admit though, on all the hikes, there's these trails. It's a national park, so it's planned. It's a lot of planned trails. They're beautiful, but they're planned trails. The kids just didn't want to be on the trails. They wanted to be on the rocks, going up and down and climbing everything. And you just take for granted, after you've been there a while, even a few days, how these big rocks on the side of the trail, you climb up them, and then you're standing, and you want to get down. You're like, whoa, I'm way the hell up here. And you forget because you just because it goes up further, and you just take the up and down thing is very, very attuned to where 4 and 6-year-olds are. Very attuned. It's just, I mean, they want to climb. Plus, these kids are Waldorf kids. I mean, I always say that, but they're, that's the school that they were at for the first 3 years of their lives was just, or from when they were 2 to 5 or whatever. It's just, it's a play-based thing, but it's all about climbing and just like exploring getting comfortable with your body. They don't do any academics, which is why my kids can't read or count, but they can climb. But they can climb like monkeys, and they love to climb. So that's what I got them as a trade-off. But then I constantly am thinking about Jim.
You think that
Jim
maybe at some
me
point
that-
they will be able to read and count, right?
Or
Yeah,
they-
it's
they join the
amazing how that
circus.
works. Yeah, it's amazing. I have conversations about this.
I can
all
tell
the
you
time.
that my grandchildren can read and count, so that's good.
Yeah,
It's not a competition, Jim.
No, it actually is a competition. It probably shouldn't be a competition, but it actually, in fact, probably is a pretty overt competition, actually.
Reading and counting probably counts for something.
Yeah.
If you can count.
But
So
I
the
still
hiking-
want.
You can't count. You can't even count.
Hiking is interesting because it is like I do I call them power walks, but I walk around my neighborhood all the time or go around this
Do you
lake.
walk like with? Do you walk with like?
I don't walk like
swinging
that,
your
but
arms?
I walk fast. Like I try to
Mhm.
do 14-minute miles or 13:50
you
or
time
whatever.
yourself.
So I'm
Ooh.
like hauling for
Yeah,
4
that is
miles.
fast. Yeah.
So then when you go hiking in the mountains and you don't live in Colorado, like we were cracking up and we had to stop because you're winded and your heart's pumping and you got to drink
Mhm.
water and you got to have a snack and all that. So like I think it said 49-minute mile pace.
Well,
Right.
because
Really?
you have to take into consideration the fact that you're not only going across, you're going up.
Yeah.
Ted said the same thing, and I was
Yeah.
like, Ted, we only went a quarter. He's like, it's only a quarter mile. I'm like, yeah, but we went up 400 feet. I'm like,
Right.
It's like
That's a
I mean,
lot.
it's like it's crazy. We basically climbed a ladder for the last quarter mile. It's
And-
stairs.
In where we were, I mean, I don't know, we went it on Friday, which I think is better than a Saturday, but there were a lot of people. So you pull over and let people either pass you
Mhm.
who are going faster than you, behind you, or coming towards you, and it's a narrow trail. So, there's like things that slow you down, but you also want to look around because it's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Mm.
So beautiful.
Yeah. So
And you don't want to look around when you're on a sharp turn, and there's a cliff right next to you where you could drop 800 feet to your death.
right.
So you
Or
don't wanna
trip
look around.
on a
Well, you
roof
just made that
or a
really
rock.
an appealing idea for me to do, John. I have to say.
Well, Jim, I didn't. There
You
was
were all
at
in
no
before
point that
that,
I think I
Jim.
was going
Yeah.
to sell you on this.
I mean, I was about ready to sign up until I hit about the 800-foot drop there.
Peggy, have
so.
you been to Rocky Mountain National Park before?
Yes, because in my junior year of high school, I went.
Were you the president of the honor society when you went in?
No, I
junior
definitely
year?
was not the president. Yes, I did. I hiked there, and I went with a camp.
What was your
like, for a
greatest high
week.
school achievement, highest honor you earned while you were in high school?
I sacked the quarterback in the powder puff game.
There you
senior
go.
year.
The Deacon Jones of powder puff football.
Put that on my.
I thought it was your
obit.
sailing. I thought it was getting an A in sailing
That's
PE
seventh
class.
grade, John. 7th grade. That's not high school.
I'll never let go of that.
I know you won't. I can't believe
She had
you pulled that out.
interschool
I
sailing.
mean, what can I say? We
Sailing
can all be
is a
president
class.
of the National Honor Society, John.
Or president of the United States if you're President Ford.
yes.
So one of our highlights, though, was we saw a moose.
Ooh.
When you were in high
Oh,
school,
we were
on the
looking
trip
for
in
a
high school.
moose.
Or now.
Yeah, this time
We were looking for a moose. Where did you see it?
right when we entered.
Bear Lake?
After before we were still in our car. Actually, we were driving to the Bear Lake
Ah, that's great.
to whatever. Yeah,
Is
And,
seeing moose that rare? Is that a rare thing?
Yeah.
It's not. It's more rare.
it's not. Yeah, I
They're
mean,
they're in the lower lands, and they're they like the swampy. They they eat willow trees, so they're pretty rare. We saw a lot of elk. We didn't see any moose.
it's pretty exciting when you see some wildlife. I saw a marmot.
So where are you
Peggy-
taking the boys next?
Weren't you in the Rockies when we did our camping trip with Rothstein?
No,
were in
we went to Yellowstone.
But that's part of Rockies. It's 'cause it
Judges,
extends
do we
into
have a
Miami-
ruling on
it's
that?
Miami.
Yellowstone,
It
part of the
extends into
Rockies?
Wyoming.
I don't know. We definitely saw
Thought it
moose
was.
there too.
Yeah, that's why it made me think of
Freaking
it.
kick-ass moose right in the water.
In the water. Chewing
John,
his-
where are you taking the boys next?
Look at Chica.
Uh,
I know.
We're going to Maine for a wedding in September.
A wedding, the famous
We
wedding
were
trip.
talking about going to Italy at Thanksgiving, but that is
Really?
now off because Ted has to work.
Where in Maine are you going to go?
We're going to Andy Rothstein's wedding,
Oh, so you're going
Portland,
to
Maine.
So you could so you can't go to the
mean, it's
because
a
you could take them to
plan.
Acadia and do Cadillac Mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the big question on the table is how many days are we willing to pull Ren out of school for? And, in my family, you do not pull children out of school, ever.
When
Like,
you
it
say
is
your
like
family, you're talking about the
my,
Heinz.
my mother and father,
Yes.
yes, it would be. And I even alluded to it to my mother. a
But
few
you,
weeks
of
ago, and
course,
she was outraged.
basically think that children should not go to school at all. So personally,
I vote at this age, take them out.
Yeah,
take
I don't
them
think
out,
as much
yeah.
as possible.
school's not a big
I
deal.
know, but you know what you realize when your kid's in kindergarten, first grade, is like what they learn in a week is astounding.
It is
like
true.
what they can do one week,
But what
ago
they
that
can make
couldn't
up
do-
for the week they miss.
Well,
is
that's the
also
question, right? That's the
astounding.
question on the table.
Mhm.
But it is,
It's not
it
like
is.
you're not gonna-
There is no like the idea that like a year, like what's a year? It's so nothing. It's a year. It's just a year. It's a big freaking deal when they're little kids. It's a big deal.
A
Lots
year
going
is
on
different
in
than
year.
a week, though, right? So you're talking about, if you're talking about pulling them out for a week, that's one thing. A year is a different animal.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Also, one of the things you might find out is that kids at that age sometimes don't want to miss a lot of school because their friends are there and they want to be with their friends all the time.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
I know, and I'm worried about that too. I used to be so
You're
cavalier
worried about them
about
having
saying it
friends
doesn't matter.
because you think that would be a bad
No,
idea.
I was a cavalier teacher, and that I was always like, "Oh, it doesn't matter till high school if you move kids around." But it's very clear to me that some kids are built to have like deep relationships at a very young age.
Well, there you go. Okay,
so, Jim, I have 4 questions for you.
Wait a minute. Before you get to 4 questions for me, we want to find out what Shelley and Beth have been up to recently.
Oh yeah,
Go
ahead,
Shelley and Beth. What have you been up to?
Well, I had my niece and nephew graduated from high school.
Yay!
And turned 18.
Was
and
either one of them president of the National Honor Society?
Claire was treasurer.
Not quite, but close.
And she was also treasurer of the class.
Oh, very nice.
And she was the first student representative on the school board.
Wow.
Yeah,
Those are
Take
big
that,
accomplishments.
John.
Yeah.
No, that's great. And that's great.
So that was great. And now I leave tomorrow morning at the crack of dawn to fly out to LA and then start my trip driving across country with a friend.
And we are going to be getting pictures from the road, I'm sure.
Yes.
And when you get back, which will be what, mid-July, early July, something like that?
I'll probably
Unclear.
be back in Poughkeepsie around the 5th.
Yeah. After you get back, we'll of course have to have an episode devoted to your tales from the road.
Oh, no question. Absolutely no question.
Please
I just
try
let's
not to
just
get arrested
schedule
at
it.
Graceland on this trip.
We're not going to Graceland this trip, so I will
how
not
about
be
this?
getting arrested.
As your lawyer, I advise you not to get arrested at all on the trip, no
I
matter
don't
where
want to
you
get
go.
arrested. No,
Okay.
That's not on the list of things to do on
Okay.
this trip.
That's good. Shelley, what about you?
I just had 11 days without Ian here. He just got back while we've been on the
Ooh.
podcast. He was in Europe. So
That's like Lent.
not quite, but yeah, mini Lent. And so the animals and I just hung out, did our thing, worked. I took up kayaking during that time, had a personal best on Sunday. I went 4 times around the lake.
Right?
Nice.
No way!
If you
Congratulations!
want to know more about Shelley's kayaking, listen to the Patreon only
Oh my gosh.
episode
All right,
between her and
stop.
John. But you sent us all a video the other day. What was that video about? Can you talk about that?
Yes, this happened a couple days ago. Ian's youngest son went on a Norwegian hike with his friend Adam, and I think it was for 3 days. They videoed it. It's on YouTube. It's called Ad and Ste, S-T-E, Norwegian Adventure.
Can we put a link in the show notes for that, John, when we publish?
But of course we can.
Okay. Will you remember to do that?
Yes.
Of course.
Norwegian hike. And I don't know, one of the first of the series of messages we received through WhatsApp was that they're out of whiskey. And I was like, out of whiskey equals no hike for me. Like they were done. Because
That's awesome.
where they went was they took a plane, they were on trains. But this video, I highly recommend you watch this YouTube video. It's 15 minutes, so it's a little bit of a time commitment. But the scenery is absolutely gorgeous. They went through like 4 seasons. You see them taking their jackets off, and then they eventually are through these snow-capped mountains, places called Hugaboo or Gulugaboo or things that you can't pronounce. They have it closed captioned, so you could they have subtitles in there, so you can kind of see what they're saying, but there's still some words that are mixed up. What was really interesting to me, not only the endurance part of it and them going up all of these mountains and places is they would come over like a crest of a mountain and they'd look down off into the distance to this house that was just there in the middle of absolutely nowhere. They saw no living creatures at all except for a beetle, they said.
And by a beetle, you don't mean Ringo Starr,
no,
I assume, right?
No,
Okay.
no.
Just to be clear.
But they'd come to this house where you could stay and spend the night if you wanted to. And it's a fully furnished with all like dry packed food. So you'd open the pantry and it had all the little dry packages where you just add water, boil the water from the water that's out in the spring or the lake out there, which would never happen in the US. It would, somebody would like take it all and destroy it, and it would never be, and there was nobody around. I don't even know how they monitored it.
Those of you who are not watching, who are doing audio only, we have a surprise guest on our podcast. Peggy, who's our surprise guest?
This is Pearl. It's
Hi,
Pearl.
Pearl.
Pearl has joined us.
She's
Pearl
been
has joined us.
disconnected.
Pearl is
Sorry,
very
I
scary.
couldn't unmute myself. So Pearl was doing a lot of barking.
I
so
think that adds. I think it adds a certain charm.
thought I-
She's such a not a
Not
lap
for the
dog.
audio.
She's
Not for the
exceeded
audio,
lap
not for the
dog
actual
size.
podcast, which
Why?
is still how most people listen to us.
Well, why is that not add charm?
Because nobody can see it if you're listening. You
So
have to
that's
describe
why I
the dog.
brought it up.
The dog is
that-
very cute with fluffy ears.
But that's why I
and a fluffy
mentioned it
face.
so that people could
How
understand.
old
if they
is
weren't-
How old is
Pearl's 7.
Pearl?
She smells bad.
Oh,
I'll
she's
try
a
to
bath.
give her a bath before you guys get here.
Fortunately, that doesn't come through either on the video or the audio. So
It's fortunate. Chica rolled in goose poop yesterday,
Oh,
and
nice.
Oh, that's the
she got a
worst.
bath. She got a stern yelling.
John, do you really have
Yeah.
4 questions for me?
I have a quiz.
Okay, go.
I thought we were talking about the Rocky Mountain National Park, so I had a quiz. So Shelley, you're first. Colorado's entire moose population descends from a tiny group introduced in 1978. They're not indigenous. They were introduced by a tiny group. How many animals started it?
So how
about
many?
12.
You're answering how many animals were introduced
many
in
moose?
1978?
How many moose were introduced in 1978? A, about 12. B, about 500. C, about 5,000. D, about 5,500.
12.
A, 12. B,
12.
500. C, 5,000. D, 5,500.
12.
12 it was. Ding, ding, ding. Good guess.
So now
Beth.
the way you're doing this quiz is everybody gets to answer one question.
Beth.
You're not
I
like
have
any
four.
other
Don't
answer.
shout
We have
out the
4.
answer, Jim. It's my turn.
I promise.
Chicago's
I
third
don't know the
airport-
answers to these
Beth,
questions.
Chicago's third airport in Peatone, which has never been built, was first proposed in 1968, and residents were told planes would land by 1996. As of today, it is A, open and busy, B, under construction, C, still farmland with an active developer search, or D, permanently canceled.
D, permanently canceled.
Nope. Still, there are soybeans, but they still are approving projects to
Wow.
analyze whether it's going to happen. Because this was part of my investigation about my complaining about the trip because I can't stand the airfare. Jim, to Colorado. Jim, who runs Chicago's 2 airports? A, the federal government. B, the state of Illinois. C, the city of Chicago, or D, a private authority.
I would say D, a private authority.
It's the city of Chicago, which is also why they suck.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay,
Number
so this
4.
is all about you complaining. Did the moose
Yeah,
also
I
affect
couldn't-
your airfare?
I
Jim?
couldn't resist.
Do you have
on
a
the
question for
airfare.
Peggy?
I was going to Peggy. The first night headache and breathlessness visitors get at Estes Park, 7,500 feet, has what clinical name? A, jet lag. B, acute mountain sickness. C, dehydration. D, vertigo.
I'm going to call it acute mountain sickness.
Very good. I knew the medical professional would get that one right away. Shelley, Tibet.
Wait a minute. I thought it was
Oh,
4 questions. How
me
many more
too.
questions are there?
Well, there's 4 questions for each person.
Oh, 4 questions for each
oh,
person,
gosh,
John. We don't
okay.
have time for all that.
Oh, we don't?
We
All
can
right.
do
Well, okay,
Go
40
ahead.
minutes.
Shelley,
Go on.
Yeah.
Tibetans and Andeans both thrive in high altitude through different biological solutions. That's a textbook example of what? A, coincidence, B, genetic adaptation to environmental pressures, C, acclimatization only, or D, diet?
I'm going to say B because it's me.
Exactly. Independent genetic adaptation to the
Yeah.
same pressure.
Because I was
Fast-
going to
very
go
good.
C. That could have
Very-
been also
it was,
too.
I was trying to
Yeah.
trick you with that one.
It was a good
Beth,
one.
Yeah. it's good.
Europe's European law or European Community Law 261 makes airlines pay
Here we go.
passengers cash for major delays. The clever part from a systems point of view is that A, it adds more rules, B, puts a price on failure so airlines self-correct, C, subsidizes airlines, D, bans delays.
What's the source for the answer to the question, John?
It's it's B.
Very good. It incentivizes.
Yes, so John made up a question and his own answer. So that's good, John.
No, it's actually true.
How
I
much
looked
can
it
we
up.
read John's
see.
mind?
It's
Yes,
true. It's
go
true.
ahead.
It's true. Jim, everyone assumes Teddy
I want to
Roosevelt.
answer now. I go with airline delays are bad.
Well, this one's about the national parks. Everyone assumes Teddy
National parks are good.
Roosevelt.
Go ahead.
Everyone assumes Teddy Roosevelt created Rocky Mountain National Park. Which president actually signed it
assume
into
that
being in
is true.
1915? A, Theodore Roosevelt.
Wilson,
B,
Wilson,
Woodrow Wilson.
Wilson,
C,
Wilson,
Taft. Or D,
Wilson,
Coolidge.
Because
All
I
right,
know who the
fine,
president was in 1915.
I know that's the
John.
problem. I should have not put a year in
Yes.
there.
So, when you ask the questions, you have to have a little rigor. But go
I know
ahead.
I was
Ask
tricking you
Peggy
on
a
that one.
question.
Peggy, the EU guarantees travelers cash for major delays. For a routine 2-hour delay, like I experienced coming from Denver,
Isn't this
U.S.
the same
law
question you just
guarantees
asked, Beth?
passengers essentially what? A, a full refund. B, a meal voucher. C, nothing mandatory. Or D, automatic rebooking.
C, nothing mandatory.
Yeah, absolutely, Jack. You got nothing if you got a 2-hour delay. Nothing in this country. This country is a mess. That's my quiz.
That's excellent.
That was
That's
a good
it?
quiz, John.
That's
You
Nice.
know, John, when we went to France in 2019 or whatever to meet our daughter-in-law's parents, and our flight got canceled, and we were waiting in line to see what are we going to do because it's one flight a day, and somebody said, in Europe they give you a voucher. We each got $1,000 voucher for that canceled flight and a hotel and food vouchers and on the next flight the
Wow.
next day.
That's generous.
And we wouldn't have known
It's nice.
if somebody wouldn't have told us that that's how it works. I was
So
like, oh, this is sweet. Cancel my flight any day.
yeah, it's great. We love
All
it.
right. Very good. Well, anything else to add before we close up for the evening?
No, I mean, I am looking forward to increasingly with great excitement the idea of being together with all y'all. Well, most all y'all. So we'll see if that
July
actually happens.
11th.
I know it's like we're gonna be here like
11th.
July
tomorrow.
10th. Sorry.
The
July
summer
10th.
goes like that, guys. The summer goes like that every year. Like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
John, you're coming.
When you're
and
my
are you bringing
age,
Ted?
life goes
I'm trying
like
to.
that. Anyway,
I'll commit in
since
soon.
no one volunteered to do the closing, I'm going to spin the wheel and decide and pick someone.
Not me.
Peggy.
Don't land on me. I did it last time. It was horrible.
No, Beth did it last time.
Well, okay. I will just say
But
that
you don't
I
listen
would
to the
really-
You have
podcast,
to
so
do
help
it
me
in
do
rhyme. You have to do it in iambic pentameter.
All right, here's the alternative. I
I
could
really
sing some more John
love
Denver
that.
on the way out, but go ahead.
No.
Peggy. Yeah.
this
Peggy,
was a
go.
treat to talk about the beautiful snow-capped mountains in the Rockies and to hear what everybody's up to. We're so glad you tuned in to join us, and we will be back. I guarantee it.
In a couple
much,
days.
much to your chagrin.
We'll be back soon.
And listen to us on all the platforms and pay if you want to get on.
Yes.
Patreon or
Seriously,
whatever.
folks, you are missing a lot of great content if you're not on Patreon. And anybody who's
Pantheon.
listening to me right now who's not on Patreon should be ashamed of themselves.
Wow.
So,
That's going to
okay,
draw
bye,
a lot
everybody.
of people.
Have a good day. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.